welcome to Couch Community. It's our very first digital series, Recipes for the Restless. And today we have the amazing Shaz.
Hello, everyone. How exciting.
Very, very excited. Thanks so much, Shaz, for agreeing to give this a go with us. I'm super excited to learn how to make these delicious cupcakes with you. So shall we get started?
I think we really should get started as soon as possible. Get these cupcakes in the oven, because the sooner they go in, the cooler they'll be for us to decorate them, and things won't slide off and be messy, because there is a potential we're decorating warm cupcakes. We could have a little bit of a mess on our hands, so let's do everything we can to avoid the mess. So, do you want me to just jump on in?
Yes, please.
All right, so you have your recipe, Julia. So you know that the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix all our... Actually, before we start that, have you lined your cupcake tips at all? Have you got a cupcake?
I have.
And you've lined them?
Yes.
You're ready to go? That's fantastic. You look at you, you're a step ahead of me. Yay. Good start. All right, let's get straight into it. So you need a sieve, a big bowl, and that's a good sieve. Yeah.
Yes, it's a bit small, but I think we'll be all right.
We'll be right. I reckon we'll be right. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our plain flour. We're looking at 130 grams, and we're going to pop that in the sieve, and we're going to sieve that, and we're going to do the same with our self-raising flour at 130 grams. And it doesn't matter, you can throw it all in at once, you can throw it one at a time.
Okay, I see the problem with my sieve is that it takes a bit longer.
That's okay. I reckon we'll be fine. I've still got to line my cupcake tin, so I'm a step behind you anyway.
All right.
All right. Once you've done that.
God, the pressure is on. Wait, what else?
No pressure. Never any pressure. Spices and bicarb go in next. And we'll sieve those. You'll probably find the spices are a little bit lumpy, so you can just press them down in your sieve, and that'll just munch them all up, and they'll go nice and small. If there's a few like little stony bits, they can just go into the sink. We don't need those.
I must own up, Shaz, when you did say to get cloves, I sent Victor, my husband, to go get them, and he ended up buying whole cloves.
We won't be using them.
And then it occurred to us last night that you're probably talking about grounded ones.
I think we are. We are definitely talking about ground cloves. So... Are you omitting the cloves, or have you ground some? What are you doing?
He did bash some up for me, and I'm hoping this is grounded enough.
You might find they're a little chewy within the cupcake itself. That might be... I would sieve them and see what fine spice you can get out of that, if it's fine enough, but I definitely wouldn't be putting that in whole. Okay. That might be... to the dentist, and in isolation, I don't think that that's a good idea.
Okay. No,
let's not do that. Let's not do that. I'll just duck out and get my cupcakes. So I reckon you're going to make about 16 of these. Okay. So
did you say to put the sugar in there as well?
Yeah, pop the sugar in.
Through the nip.
Through the sieve, you can try. You can. There's two ways you can go about it. You can sieve it, or you can just pop it in and use a whisk to break up. Brown sugar is quite lumpy, so let's see how successful we go sieving it. No, it's a pain. Throw it in.
I've just tossed mine in. I'm going for the easier option.
Go with the easier option and just whisk it. And you just got to smash it all up, because, again, those big chunks of sugar will sort of soak up the liquid when we get to putting that in, and they will be hard. Before we go any further, is your oven on?
It's on.
Put your oven on. 180.
I don't use my oven that often. frosted, so hold on. Is that off?
Have you got a gas or electric oven, Julia?
This is like gas, electric.
Yes.
Okay, Victor says yes, so I think we're good.
Well done, Victor. Thank you very much. All right, so I don't know if you can see mine at all, but we're just smashing up those lumpy bits. As I said, once the liquid hits them, they set pretty firm, and you really want to sort of avoid that big chunky bits of sugar in your cupcakes. It's nicer if they're all mixed up.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So what do you cook at home, Julia? What's your what do we call it? The main thing that you bake or cook. What do you love to cook?
Instant noodles. I am an absolute profession at all kinds of instant noodles and the speed of which I will be cooking that. But yes, I don't actually cook very often, as you can probably tell. Hence why my team thought it would be funny that I should give this a go with you. Well, but Shaz, how long have you actually been baking for?
Well, I've probably been baking most of my life, I think. I started baking with my mum and my grandma, and really took a keen interest in the kitchen as a kid. In terms of baking celebration cakes, I've been in my business for almost 8 years now. But my little babies are 18 and 20, so they've been getting fancy cakes for that long. So they're the reason I started going into fancy cakes.
Wow.
Now, I reckon we should be okay with this. Once you've got those big chunky bits of sugar broken up, then that's fine. So you should have a really delicious smelling flour mix here. Does it smell great?
Yes, I think so.
You think so? You popped your spices in?
Yes.
I tend to go a bit heavy-handed in my spices. I don't know, I just love them. They're delicious. So good. Taste amazing. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our grated carrot. Okay? So you should have already pre-grated your carrot. Great.
Yes.
Fat. Get it? Great. Yes, great. We're going to pop that in. Straight into the flour mix. I must say I've washed my hands for 20 seconds. Soapy hot water. Nice clean hands.
Yes.
Well, look at you. You're good with your spatula. I'm actually going to just lift that carrot through with my hands. I'm actually going to just get all that flour mixture coating each of those bits of carrot, that yummy soft grated carrot. Because what we're doing here is if we coat this carrot with the flour mix, when we mix our wet ingredients in, it will be a lot easier. You won't have big chunks of carrot sticking together, big chunks of flour sticking together. It just makes for a lot nicer mix. So it's just a matter of tossing it around. You can do it with a spatula. You can do it with your hands. I really enjoy the whole hands-on aspect of cooking. So clean hands. It's just as good as gloves. If you wash your hands properly, and we've all had a great lesson in washing our hands properly lately, so
definitely
it's not a big deal. Yeah. So it should look like, I don't know, some worms in a sandpit.
Oh.
it looks pretty weird, but it's going to be delicious.
Okay.
So once
I
we've
trust
done
you.
that, how's yours looking?
I think it's okay. What do you reckon?
Yeah, a little bit more. See that big lump that just fell towards the front?
Yep.
Yeah, just try and break up those chunks of carrot if you can.
Gosh. Right.
You're basically flicking it. You're just flicking it and tossing it through. It's almost like battering something.
So Shaz, what's been like your most wackiest cake that you've had to make for a client?
We've done a few wacky things. We've made people, which seems quite wacky. It doesn't seem quite wacky when you think about it, but when you're making a person out of cake and then they cut the cake, that's a bit wacky to me. Sticking a knife in the cake of a person. I've made shoes, I've made handbags, I've made gnomes, I've made all sorts of things. I don't know what the wackiest thing. I've made giant chocolate bars.
Oh my God.
Cake. It's phenomenal. A great big jar of Vegemite. So just your everyday items made out of cake. Roast chicken. I've made a roast chicken dinner.
Oh, wow.
And the funniest story is that when I was making that, all I could smell was roast chicken. I thought my brain was playing tricks. I thought I was having a neurological event because I could smell roast chicken. But the supermarket down the road were actually rotisserie their chickens at the same time, and we had a rare southeasterly wind, and that was blowing the smell in our back window.
My God, that's hilarious. Right.
All right, I reckon you're good there, Julia. I reckon we can pop our walnuts in.
Walnuts, yes.
Yep, throw them in. Just give them a stir.
Yep.
And then we make a well, okay? So just in the centre of your mix, just make it so you can see the bottom of the bowl and everything's pushed to the side. Then we're going to add our wet ingredients. So we have 4 wet ingredients. So we have our vegetable oil, and we're looking at 150 grams of that, or 150 mil.
Yep.
Okay. We're then looking at our golden syrup. We'll pop that in. We have 3 eggs. So with your eggs, what the best thing to do when you're baking cakes or anything with eggs is to crack them into a separate bowl. So you can just use the bowl that you're using for your golden syrup. Crack your eggs in, and one at a time, pop them into your mix. And the reason we do this is if one of your eggs is a bit goopy or if it's not quite right, you can go straight into the bin or the compost or wherever it goes, and it's not spoiling your cake batter.
Sure.
The last wet ingredient is our vanilla bean paste or our vanilla essence. I love vanilla. I'm guilty of using far too much vanilla. So I've given it a good whack here because I love it. So that's all your wet ingredients. How's that? Now, your eggs, when you've done that, you can just whisk your eggs up. You can use a whisk, or I'd probably use just your spatula.
Okay.
Just break up those eggs before we start moving it into the dry ingredients. And then mix it all together.
Okay. God, it looks strange.
And basically all you want to do is make sure all that carrot that's been coated in the flour is now mixed well into the wet ingredients.
Yeah.
And this is the beauty. If you hadn't coated all those bits of carrots in your flour, you could now have lumps of flour in there that you're not going to be able to tell because you've got chunky bits of walnuts in there too, and you'll be looking at that going, is that flour, is it walnut? So the fact that you've done that step and coated your carrot with the flour, you don't have to worry about it because it's all batter. And then you're done. Yours look like that?
What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon it does. Awesome. Look at you. So the next thing is to get your cupcake cases. Now I find it easier to use an ice cream scoop. You could use a piping bag. Professionals use a piping bag and just pipe their batter into their cupcakes. If you don't have an ice cream scoop, you can just use a spoon or 2 spoons.
Well, can't find mine, so I'm going to resort to a spoon.
Yeah, spoon. That's great. So it's a matter now of putting equal amounts in your cupcake cases.
Okay.
And the reason I like to use an ice cream spoon is a scoop is because you can have a look at the amount going into each cupcake case. And if you scoop it evenly, you've got consistent sizes in your finished product.
Sure.
Now, I don't reckon I'm scooping it evenly. I reckon there's one a little bit bigger than the other and so forth. And I'm really not going to worry about it too much because we can hide the different sizes when we're decorating them.
Yeah. I think my goal right now is just to get it in the right thing without spilling everywhere.
It is a really, particularly when you're making them to sell, you don't want to be hitting the sides of your paper with your cupcake batter because once it cooks on there, it does look a bit yucky. So, but for home, it doesn't really matter. You'll get crunchy bits, but that's okay. Yes. Well, there we go. This is the home tray. The other side's the professional tray. This side's the home tray. Now, I've obviously filled up my cupcakes a little bit more than I normally would because I'm only getting 15 out of them.
Yeah.
That's okay. That is okay. They'll be nice and filling when you eat them. They'll be delicious.
Yes.
And I'm just scraping down my bowl and I'm putting the rest of the batter into the last cupcake.
Right. How do you do this so fast? Oh, my goodness.
Had a little bit of practice, just a little bit.
Gosh, the pressure's on.
And you go, oh, spoons? But doing it in spoons is a lot harder too, though. Don't rush. So, tell me, Julia.
Yes?
Why did you start doing this couch community?
That's a really good question. As you know, I run a events and marketing company. Yeah. And with everything that's been going on with COVID-19, basically our events calendar got wiped clean pretty much overnight. And it was a really scary spot to be in. I remember it was Friday afternoon and the government just made that announcement and we were all like, shit, what do we do now? So, there was a lot of panics and everything like that. But then I'm very lucky. I've got an amazing team. We all decided to come back together the following week and said, okay, right, if we can't actually organise events for our clients at the moment, why don't we try to create a community where we can self-produce events that's fun and interesting, that speaks of who we are, and actually support businesses while we're doing it. So that's kind of where the idea stemmed from. And this is obviously our very first initiative, Recipes for the Restless. And we plan to roll out a few more different kinds of, event genres and things like that in the coming weeks, working with other businesses and artists that's been, heavily impacted. And just trying to, create a sense of community in this kind of strange time where everyone's, obviously really unsure and concerned and everything like that, and just trying to, make ourselves, keep ourselves busy in this crazy period.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think it's really important to actually to show people that we're still here and we're still doing our thing and we care about people out there. Like it's, I don't know about you, but for me, the week that things got shut down, I spent most of that week on the phone with my beautiful clients. And, it was such an emotional week. Emotions were running high, people were unsure, they were scared, they were, a little bit frightened about what the future actually did hold. But I think if we can show that we're here, we're looking out for them and we're still caring for them and doing the best that we can with what we've got. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Entirely agree with you. Yeah, and we're the same as well, you know, whilst we're trying to still look after our clients and everything like that, we want to make sure that we're saying, hey, we're still active. We've got an amazing team on board that can still kind of do different things and, yeah, keep ourselves afloat in the meantime.
Yeah, fantastic. Let's get these in the oven.
Excellent.
You good now? Have you got a timer? Or I'll
yeah, how long am I timing it for?
Look, I'm going to go about 17 minutes on these.
Okay.
And then we'll check. And the way we check is we use just a wooden skewer or a metal skewer, and then we just pop that into the top of the cupcake. And if it comes out nice and clean, they're cooked. You can also tell by springing the cake up and down, like on top of it, and if it's quite springy, it's cooked. If it sinks, it's not cooked. So okay. I reckon 17 minutes at 180, we're going to have a really lovely cupcake coming out. So
amazing.
Yeah. Step one, look at you. Step one, look what you've done. How exciting. I'm glad we knitted those cloves. That could have been a little bit of a disaster in the making.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now, look, I get not caned, but I people pick on me a little bit, but I like a really clean workspace. So the next thing to do is just to wipe down your workspace. Oh, and right. I'm a little bit fussy about that when I teach, because I think if you have a really nice clean workspace, you think a lot easier. You think clearer. It's a lot easier to find things, and it just makes the process a lot smoother.
Absolutely.
And then I'm
now, we might actually have a question on Facebook. Just give me 1 second. Let me just check.
Fantastic.
What's the question? What's the question on Facebook? Huh? Oh, someone's got a question for you, Shaz. When did Blackbird Cakes start? I think you said before, was it like 10 years ago?
8 years ago. 8. Yeah, it'll be our 8th birthday in August. So, yeah, I'm just thrilled. 8's a great number. And I thought I'd be sick of it after 7, but oh, no way. I just love it. I love what I do. I'm not going anywhere. It's such a beautiful environment to be in. Our studio is fantastic, and I get to make cakes. I mean, really.
Yeah.
It's a good job. It's a great job. So 8 years we've been going. Nelly?
Amazing. JT's been going for 7 years, so we're a year behind you. So hopefully we can stick around for a little bit longer after all this kind of crazy COVID situations.
Yep.
Now, I know you, and I should probably let the audience know as well how we've met. And the fact that we've been advertising you as an award-winning baker, and that is absolutely true. Do you want to tell everyone about what kind of awards you've won?
Well, I was very fortunate to meet you last year, and the first top place I met you was at the Macedon Rangers Business Awards, where our little business Blackbird Cakes took the People's Choice Award home with us. Yes. So that's the most important one, Julia.
Yes. We might add that your People's Choice Award came in at, like, I think it was thousands of votes, wasn't it? I'm looking for Victor to... Or was a couple of thousands worth of votes, and it was so impressive and really stuck to sort of me and Victor and our team's mind, because you were such a humbling business owner, and throughout the process was always ringing and checking in with us and making sure that, you know, you're doing everything right, all the steps involved in the awards process, and we were so impressed. So we're thrilled that you took away that prize that night.
Thank you. I was pretty happy, I might admit. You must have heard how loud our table was. We were pretty happy at our table. We were quiet ones at the ceremony. It was pretty awesome. And I must admit, you know, maybe my application was just like following a recipe, you know, step by step, making sure that I've got everything in order and got things in order. That's the way I work, I think. I like to have everything in order and doing it all right. But the second time we met was at the Melbourne University Great Architectural Bake Off, which was so exciting.
Yeah.
The first year, and we get to bake a cake and make it look like an amazing architectural icon in Melbourne. I mean, it took me, the longest thing for me to do was to choose what to make. Like, there was so many fabulous buildings in Melbourne, and I chose Story Hall. And there was so much meaning behind that building. It's just fantastic, you know, from the suffragettes, for women's rights. It's just fantastic. It's just a fantastically designed building, a lot of meaning, fantastic exterior. It was an absolute joy to make. So, and I got a prize for that. I got third prize for that, which I was absolutely the competition was so stiff. The cakes were amazing. I know, I walked in, I went, oh my God, my mind was blown. So that was super to be a winner in that as well. So that's how we met.
Yeah, I loved it. And I remember your cake was incredible. We had, and as you said, we had so many amazing cakes compete across those 2 days. But I remember your one was of Story Hall, RMIT, and you went to the effort of doing not only the front facade, the side facade, the back facade, but it was also, I think you graffitied your name on the side of the wall.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, in true Melbourne style. And I just loved the fact that you were able to talk about how you took cake and baking and brought it into the kind of architectural sense. And it was incredible. So very well deserved again.
Thank you. It was a pretty cool thing. It was amazing. So if not this year, hopefully next year they'll do something fabulous as well. So
yeah,
it'll give me a little bit of time to hone up my skills too. And
yes.
have a good think about how to go about it again, because I'll tell you what, fantastic. It was such a great event. So
yes,
well done to you guys. So
thank you.
It was really good. It was really good. So now I'm more interested to know about your kitchen and what you've achieved in the kitchen.
Well, I don't know about achievements, but I definitely have horror stories in the kitchen. I think you would have seen on my Instagram where I shared the fact that one of my earlier jobs when I was doing, I just started JT and I had a part-time job in a corporate office. I was trying to microwave a scone, and this just goes to show that I have absolutely no common sense in the kitchen. And I'm pretty sure some of the colleagues are watching right now. But yeah, we had morning tea. We had a lovely scone. It was just one scone that I wanted to microwave in our staff kitchen. And the colleague said to me, oh, just whack it in the microwave and turn the dial to number 1. And so we were having a chat, and I put it in the microwave. I turned it to 1. And I turned back to talk to her. What I didn't realise was that she said, you should keep an eye on the microwave and just wait for a little bit and take it back out. But I took her words as in you should just leave and wait until it actually dings. So I think it was a good 10 to 15 minutes, and I turned back and saw that my little scone has been burnt black. And there was black smoke coming out of the microwave. And I was horrified because I was so scared of setting off the alarms in the entire office building that we were running around with newspaper and trying to fan down the entire place. It was absolutely insane. But that's just one of the many stories of, my poor cooking or reheating adventures.
Yeah. Yeah, can I give you one bit of advice? Like microwaving scones, maybe 10, 15 seconds, you know? You obviously weren't instructed well.
Yes. Yes, well, there was that. And believe it or not, I did the exact same thing. I think it would have been like 2 years ago in our smaller office. We just moved in, and I had another pork bun. And again, I wasn't warned about the microwave. I shoved it in there and it caught on fire, and the same thing. But this time, because our office was so small and I was freaking out and I didn't want to dump it anywhere. We didn't really have a proper kitchen. So I took the plate out and I ran out onto the street of North Melbourne and I just ran around the block waiting for this bun to stop burning and eventually tossed it into the bin. So, yeah. True story.
Okay, yeah. You need to just take that microwave shut that you've got beside you where you're not touching the microwave.
That's it.
Actually, hopefully your buttercream is nice and soft because it might have to go into the microwave, but I will count down how long it goes there for you.
Yes, please.
We're not touching it with a microwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got about another 7 minutes to go on those cupcakes. And then we're going to have to pop them into the fridge or freezer just to really chill them down quick. So the next step we need to worry about is decorating them. I've got some that I prepared earlier.
Yes.
So these gorgeous little creatures. Now,
love it.
Yeah. So there's a couple of ingredients that you need to do these. And one is coconut, plain shredded coconut, desiccated coconut, whatever you've got.
Yeah, got it.
Good. Now, with this little link bunny that's on what it looks like it's on grass, you can just dye some of your coconut green. So you just drop a bit of green food colouring in there. And if you haven't got green food colouring, you can use a bit of your green fondant that you're going to use for your carrot top and just really swish it up, put a little bit of water on it, loosen it up, and then just rub that through your coconut. And that's another way of getting a nice green coconut if you haven't got the food dye. So there's plenty of things that you can do to make things look amazing if you don't have every ingredient. And then for the soil on the carrot, I just use a mixture of cocoa powder and brown sugar, and it looks like dirt. It's fantastic. I love making veggie patch cakes and using this as dirt. It's just awesome. So they're the three things that we're going to use to go onto the buttercream that we've got, and then we're going to make some ears and feet and tails and some carrots. So why don't we hook into that and get started on that?
Sounds good.
All right. So you need some fondant. You've got some fondant?
Yes. Well, we had to improvise. By I meant Victor, because we couldn't find fondant, so we went with icing and did a bit of dyeing. I'm hoping that's okay.
You know what? It's going to be okay. I'll get my fondant.
Now, Shaz, while you're doing that, I'm keen to also know if you have any horror stories in the kitchen.
Oh. You know, there's a word that we're not allowed to use at Blackbird Cakes. It starts with D and ends in rob. So it's drop. We're not allowed to talk about dropping cakes. It just seriously sends me into a little bit of a tailspin. So we had a really, really busy week one week, and you know, just lots of cakes everywhere. And I have a bench on I have a fondant sheeter that you roll your fondant through this great big machine. And just to fit it into my studio, we had to have a hinged sort of shelf next to it because we had to undo the hinge and store things and you lower the bench and so forth. So the bench has got just like a pole that hangs in and keeps it straight up. So we were so busy. We had cakes everywhere. I popped a cake onto that hinged bench. I turned around. I picked up something. My bum bopped the actual hinged bench. Up it went. The leg fell out and bang, the cake landed on the floor.
Oh, no.
And presumably, as that happened, I was talking to one of my staff members and I was saying to her, look, it's not about the bad things that happen in life, it's how you pick yourself up and how you move on. And I was giving this pep talk about how you move on from major stuff-ups, and I'm like, yeah, poof, and bumped the table and turned around and splat, this cake was on the ground.
Oh my goodness. Jesus.
I stopped there. I held myself together and listened to my own words and went, start again. So scoop it up, in the bin it goes, and we start again. So, but you know,
what a great tip though, honestly. Start again, isn't it?
Start again. That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
That's it.
Now, with fondant, so your icing that you've got, it's like, feels like a bit like Play-Doh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you need it. You need it all together. And if you need it all together, it comes together quite smoothly. And yeah, maybe if you want to do a little bit at a time, I've got a little bit here. It's not too, it's nice and smooth, nice and
I can't tell ratios from the screen. How much is a little bit? Like,
that's it in my hand.
Okay.
Even
Like
less
that?
than that. Even less than that. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Mate, like I've only got like a smaller than a tennis ball.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
So basically what we're going to do, let's start off on these beautiful little critters here. So we're going to start off on our bunny and we're going to make ears and nose and little feet.
Excellent.
Okay. Coconut falls off everywhere. So basically with the tail, it's about getting a piece that's the size of maybe a marble, a big marble, rolling it into a ball, making sure it's nice and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And then all I do is I just pinch it so it looks like a little cottontail. So you just put little indentations in it just by pinching it, and it looks like a little cottontail.
Okay.
I might get my assistant to hold it up a bit closer. How about that, Lou? Where's your camera?
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. No, it's just a matter of giving a bit of a pinch, and you want to sort of make it look a little bit fluffy so it doesn't look smooth and perfect.
Pinching away. Okay.
And I'm going to make 3, but you could just make 1 if you've done that. So then the next thing to do is to make the paws. So what you want to do is you want to get your fondant, you want to get the size of quite a big marble, you know, those giant marbles?
Yep.
Yep. Get that, roll it into a ball, pinch it in half. I don't know about you, but my kitchen's starting to smell amazing. How's yours smelling?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, good.
Assuming it's not burnt.
No, they shouldn't be. Oh, they're coming along. Oh, look at that. My timer's just gone off. So I'm going to check mine.
Oh, so is mine. Wait, what do I have to do now? Check it.
Now we have to take them out, pop them on top of your stove. Mine still have got a little bit to go.
Should I poke a stick in it?
Yeah, mine have got a little bit to go. You can see my stick there is a little bit goopy. So I'm going to put it on for another couple of minutes. Can you see that?
Okay, let me try mine. Shaz, I think mine's good.
Awesome. Out they come.
All right.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay.
Now what you want to do is you want to let them cool for just a little bit, and then you're going to use your skewer just to pop them onto a cake rack, but just let them cool for a little bit first, because otherwise you burn your fingers. And we don't want to be doing that. So you've got your cake rack, your cooling rack.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Okie doke. So while I'm waiting for mine to come out, a couple of more minutes, we're going to make these little feet. So we split that marble into 2 smaller marbles.
Yep.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll it into a ball. Okay, and then we're going to flatten it and make it a paw shape. So just press down at one end so it's got that really cute little paw shape. It's almost like a teardrop.
Okay.
All right. And I'm looking for my little knife. I'm going to get my knife. Just a paring knife. And you use the back of that knife to indent the paw prints.
All right, let me get mine.
And I'm going to get Nikki to get it nice and close for you in a second.
Oh, yours is so cute.
So just the back of your knife and you make your paw prints.
Mine's looking like duck feet at the moment.
Well, you can have a little ducky rabbit then. That's all right. We're not going to judge. And my oven's looking at me, so I'm going to have a look and see how mine are going. I think I overfilled my cupcake cases. Oh, yeah, they're bouncing. They're springing back. They're really lovely.
Excellent.
Now, did you turn your oven off?
Yes, I have.
Right. Yeah, mine are coming out nice and clean now. Perfect. Just needed that extra couple of minutes.
Okay.
And my timer's off. Thank you, Michaela. All righty.
So, Shaz, what's your favourite, like, cupcake or cake flavour?
Oh, gingerbread. I make this really delicious. Use a caramel mud base. So you use it, you make a caramel mud cake. And you know how we put the spices in here?
Yes.
So it's those spices plus ginger. And, oh, my goodness, it is so good with the caramel. So delicious. So that's my favourite. And you can swap it around with cardamom and have more of a chai flavour instead of using the ginger. So, yeah, you can add a lot of different spices into a caramel cake. All righty. How are you going with those? Have you done a set of those? Have you done 2 of those?
I think so. What do you reckon?
While we're waiting, while we're doing that, I think what we should do is take our cupcakes out of the tin now, and that will stop the cupcake liners from sticking, from peeling away from the cupcakes. If we let them sweat too much, the liners can peel away.
Right. Okay.
I think I'm going to have some pretty happy house members here. These look great.
So I'm turning out all right too.
Yeah, of course. I had every confidence in you.
I'm so impressed.
We're going to turn this ship around, lady. We're going to have you baking beautiful cupcakes. You're just going to absolutely surprise everybody, my friend.
Yes. Well, Victor will be my guinea pig, and he'll get to try some of the cupcakes.
Right. And
I'll show you some. I think mine looks a little bit burnt.
That's just where the little sloppy bits came out over the edge. Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I'll get Michaela to put one up to the camera here.
Oh, yours look really nice and so evenly spread.
Yeah, I overfill my cases a little bit, but they do look delicious. They look quite hearty. There's one here that's a bit of a sloppy one that's gone over the edge, but nah, who cares?
Yes. I'm curious to see if anyone else is cooking at home with us to also share some photos of their cupcake results. Hopefully looking more like Shaz than mine.
I reckon they look all right. I reckon we'll be fine.
I love your positivity.
The proof is in the pudding. So, all right, I'm going to let them cool. I'm going to give them a couple of minutes, and then what we might do, Julia, is pop, say, 4 of them in the fridge, just to really, or the freezer, just to really give them a blast. so that we can put our buttercream on. So now you were showing me your little paw. How's your paw looking?
I've got him.
Yeah, cute. Yeah, awesome. Really cute. So that's great. So next we're going to make is the ears. So with the ears, you need to get not too much. Again, probably the large marble size, maybe a little bit more. Roll that into a nice ball.
Yep.
Okay. And then we're going to make a sausage. All right. And with the sausage, what we're going to do is just roll it so that it's a little bit pointy at each end.
Okay.
Okay, so almost like a banana, thicker in the middle and pointy at each end. And then what we're going to do is cut that in half. And then you'll have your two rounded looking ears. Yeah, fantastic. Then what we're going to do is just press on them. Just press on them and make that indentation of the inner ear.
Okay.
And if they stick to your bench, you just have to run your knife along your bench and really press the blade down on your bench, and that'll just lift them straight up.
Okay, got it.
Okay, Michaela, can you show that to Julia and everybody else? Yay, yay. Yeah, awesome. Then we're going to get a tiny little bit of pink and do exactly the same, but just the size of a smaller marble, maybe even a little bit less.
All right.
Giant pea, smaller marble. Again, make that banana shape. And then cut it in half. That didn't work. You didn't say that. That didn't work. I'm doing it again.
All right.
And then that's the sort of the pinky colour on the inside. So you can change the shape of it just by pressing and smoothing it with your fingers.
Oh no, it's stuck on my finger.
Now, sometimes it does that. You've got to make sure you've got really dry hands when you're using fondant. It does get quite sticky. You can use corn flour or, yeah, I prefer corn flour. You can use icing sugar as a little bit of a dusting powder. As I said, I prefer corn flour. It doesn't dry your fondant as much.
Right. Okay.
And then you just smooth those pink bits into your white bits so that they look like bunny ears.
Now, Shaz, one of the things I absolutely love that's adorable.
Yeah.
When I work with you is your, obviously, and I'm sure viewers at home and people who follow you would agree, your lovely positivity. What are some of the tips you can give people who are running small businesses like yourself and like me to keep positive in this kind of crazy time?
I think it all boils back to your customer. I think if you keep your customer in mind and what we can do to help our customers, I think that for me is the number one. I know for me personally, if I'm doing things for other people, I tend to get out of my own head and just am a better person. And so for me, number one thing is to keep reminding myself about my customers, keep thinking about my customers, keeping in contact with my customers, whether it's via social media, whether it's via email or a phone call. That's the first thing. In business, generally, we have a happy jar at Blackbird Cakes. So what we do is we print out a lot of our testimonials, a lot of our reviews, and we just print them out, pop them on a piece of paper, cut them all up and fold them up and pop them into a jar. So if things are getting a bit heavy, or we're not having the best week, or we're finding things, hard work, or we just need a bit of a boost, just jump into the happy jar, pull something out and have a read of what people have said about us.
Yeah.
And you know, that reminds us we're there for our customers. That reminds us that's what we're doing. We're doing that for, you know, we're working for them. And it just brings us back to why we're there.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So that for me is the main thing. So
I love that. That's really great. It's so nice. I really like your idea of a happy jar. I might have to start something at JT with that. What a great idea.
It's really good. It really is. And you forget what people have said about you. You forget what you've done for people. You know, and to, as I said, if things aren't going as smoothly as you want them, or if, you know, we're impacted with things completely out of our control, you know, it's good to remind ourselves why we're doing what we're doing and who we're doing it for.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. We've got a rule in our household with this situation, is that we really all try and do something nice for somebody else each day.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Whether it's cooking for a neighbour, or whether it's, you know, I've got plenty of rhubarb in my garden, I've dropped some rhubarb off, or, you know, I've been able to get flour through work, just dropping a bag of flour to one of my neighbours across the road, you know, just doing whatever I can, little bits and pieces. And I think if we all do that and think about other people, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, we're going to get through this. We're going to do the best we can.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so aside from, you know, obviously eating delicious cake all the time, do you have like a favourite dish that you go to for dinner?
What do we love? I don't know. I'm looking at my little assistant here. Oh, she's telling me mine's ice cream. Which I love ice cream. I love Jamie Oliver. So like I've got a few Jamie Oliver recipes that I really love cooking for my family. We've got a beautiful green chicken curry that we make. It's our family favourite. I did last Sunday, I did a slow roast leg of lamb and ratatouille. And
nice.
Yeah, I'm getting the thumbs up from off camera here. So that was great. And so I really enjoy baking. So biscuits, cakes, all those sorts of pastry. I love making pastry. So that sort of thing is really, you know, that's what I love. That's what brings me joy.
Amazing.
Yeah. Did you happen by any chance, lovely lady, to get any orange fondant, or are you just sticking with the white and the pink?
Pardon?
Did you get any orange fondant, or have you got just white and pink?
I've just got white and pink.
Awesome. So we're going to stick with the Bunnings with you, so that's all good. Now I'm going to go off and I'm going to pop some cupcakes into my freezer because I'm thinking they're still a bit too warm. So if you want to grab 4 cupcakes from your rack and pop them in your freezer, and that will just chill them down.
I'm going to hand it over to my assistant, Victor.
Go, Victor. But make sure he doesn't eat them.
Yeah, I know, I've got my eyes on him.
So if anybody at home who's watching has got orange fondant, all I'm doing to make these carrot tops is just making a large marble size piece of fondant, rolling it into a ball, and then pressing it down on my bench as I shape that top carrot, you know, the top of a carrot look. It's a little bit rounded on top. Then I'll just use my little paring knife to indent the side so it's got that carrot sort of indentation. And I'll get Nikki here to bring one up to camera so you can see.
Great. Very cute.
Yeah, and then we'll just make a little green top to go on top of that. Now, how's your buttercream?
Okay.
Now, can you get a knife and move it around, or is it quite solid like it's come out of the fridge?
Well, It's moving. Is that what it's meant to be?
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite soft. I'll show you mine. So you want to be able to sort of really smooth it on like soft butter.
Right.
So see how that's got nice and wispy? Yeah.
Oh.
Delicious. So it's really fun. Yeah. So what I'm reckoning you might want to do is get a deeper bowl if you've got one, or even a fork, and really just give it a bit of a whisk just to soften it up.
All right. Now, if anyone's watching at home and is cooking along with us,
Yep.
hope you guys are going well. Feel free to share some photos and things like that in the comments. Love to see your creations.
And when I get off too, is there any questions baking-wise?
Mm-hmm. Did you say I have to whisk it?
If you can, or even a fork. I'd try with a fork to start with. I reckon that's a bit easy. Yeah, just, you know, when you got hard butter out of the fridge and you want to butter a nice soft fluffy bread roll. Yeah. You want to have that butter nice and creamy and soft before you spread it on. Otherwise, you're going to rip your bread roll to shreds. Same sort of thing with your cupcakes. You don't want to be ripping those cupcakes. That's for sure.
Okay, got it. Right. So, Shaz, I know that you have a chatting group, isn't it? Chatting Cakes with Blackbird, is that right?
That's yeah.
Yeah,
So we've got this gorgeous little community. Yeah, it's a gorgeous little community on Facebook, and there's we share our recipes, we share our successes and our failures. And yes, I have had baking failures on, and yes, there's a picture of the cookies I tried to make. So we share our wins, and we have a lot of fun. It's a really fabulous place to be. We share, as I said, share our recipes. We're actually going to be doing a quarantine kitchen cleanup challenge next week. I'm going to be launching that, and that's just a challenge for people to clean up their kitchens and and share their wins along the way. So we do all sorts of fun things in there. So it's a great community. If anybody wants to join, I can pop the link up in the comments later. But it's just so much fun. So
amazing. That sounds good. I might need to get onto that because it could be a good excuse for us to clean our kitchen as well.
Yeah. Because I modelled it off my my kitchen looks lovely in this shot.
It does.
But there are cupboard doors and drawers that need a little bit of a budge to close. So yeah.
I remember when we first Skyped or Zoomed each other about this, I saw your kitchen and I was so amazed. I said to Victor, oh my God. It is like a MasterChef kitchen. It's so good.
It's pretty lovely, I must admit. It's a lovely space. I really do enjoy working with it. I did pick some nice dark and light sort of contrast because I do like the contrast. So yeah, it is a beautiful. I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky to have this beautiful space. So
yeah.
Lucky I like it.
Now I think there's people on Facebook. What are they asking? They're asking, because I don't have the orange fondant, whether I can make some pink carrots instead. So, yeah. Shaz, can you show me that quick step again really quickly while I whip a carrot up?
Let's make pink carrots. So, basically, it's a large marble size. So, just the size of a large marble. You knead it all And then all I do is I'm just thinking of a carrot itself, and I'm pressing down flat on my bench as I spin it around and just shape that domed top and flat bottom. You've got to have that flat bottom because that'll sit on top of your cupcake. And it's just that, it's almost like the top of your thumb shape. So just a dome top, flat bottom, and that's your carrot top. And then, yeah, fantastic. And then I get a knife, and you can just use the back of the knife and indent those lines that you see on your carrots, just to give it a bit more of a realistic look. Okay. And then you can use your white or any other colour you like. You can, if you've got pink and white, use pink and white, I'd say. And you can make your top in a different colour. And then to make the top, again, roll it into a ball. And then we're going to roll into sort of a teardrop shape, so a little bit thinner on one end. Yep. And then with the wider end, you're going to press it down flat. So you've got that, it's almost like the top of a spoon. So, yeah. And then what you're going to do with your knife is you're just going to cut into that flat bit to make it look like the grassy bits of the carrot.
Yep.
And then I just pick it up. So if you need to use your knife to scrape it off your bench, just pick it up, and then you just roll those cut pieces around onto each other. So it looks like a carrot top, flatten the bottom, and then that just sits basically on top of our pink carrot.
Got it.
Pretty simple, quite effective. Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
what do you reckon?
Yeah, awesome. So good. I don't believe you with these microwave stories. I'm not convinced. I think you're fabulous.
You might have to come over sometime, Shaz, and I'll cook you up some lovely instant noodles.
Okay.
With now the carrot cupcakes that I've lit.
Carrot cupcakes and instant noodles. That sounds fantastic. All right, now I'm going to check my freezer to see how these are looking.
All right, brilliant.
Still a little bit warm on top, but that's okay. We're going to give them another couple of minutes. And in the meantime, we're just going to get back into this buttercream. And I'm just using a knife, and I'm just giving it a little beat or a whisk, and just trying to get that nice and creamy.
Yep.
Mine's looking pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, on this other little baby here on the grass, the bunny on the grass, we did have a whole pack of lint bunnies. There is one left. I'm not sure where they went. I'd really like to blame other members of the family, but that would be lying. So I might have scoffed most of them. So basically, I'm just going to sit this little lint bunny in the grass. So you can use anything else. You can use an Easter egg. You can use anything you like if you want to go down that path. It's not an issue. So there's my little bunny ready to go as well. Once these cupcakes are cooled, what we're going to do is just get our knife and just basically coat the top of the cupcakes. The bunny ears cupcake, we're going to dome the icing, the buttercream on top. So it's going to be like a mound, because that way we'll be able to stick the ears in and give them something to grip onto, okay?
Yeah.
Now your bunny's going to have pink eyes or white eyes, or I don't know, have you got any little...
Well, I had a little bit of grey or black, what we were trying to make.
Perfect. That's all we need. That's fantastic. So you'll make two tiny little balls for the eyes, and then a little pink nose. So we'll do them now as well.
Brilliant.
I'll grab my black.
Okay. Now, Shaz, while you do that, it's probably a good chance to also let the audience at home who's watching know more about Couch Community. As I said before, we've just launched this and we are going to be releasing more recipes for the Restless very, very soon with other chefs cooking up a range of meals. The competing act will definitely not be me, and it'll be comedians. So be sure to check out Couch Community after this on our website. Sign up so that you guys can find out when the next event is on.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. That'll be great. Keep everybody entertained during our lockdown. That's great. Have you got anything in mind? Any recipes in mind?
Well, we've been very lucky since reaching out to a number of restaurants and other, I guess, amazing chefs. People have responded really positively with the idea. So we've got a bit of Asian cooking coming up. We've got a bit of French cooking. So it'll be a variety of things to keep people interested and, you know, learning new skills while we're in isolation.
Oh, how fantastic. My son and I have wanting to cook some steam buns. That's our next task. And I did just get some nice crumpet rings too to relearn how to make crumpets. So yeah,
there you go.
It's good fun. All right, I reckon it's time to get those cupcakes out of the freezer. They're still a little bit warm, but I think we should be okay.
Yep. Got mine?
Okay. Okay, so what you need to do is it's just like spreading. You wouldn't use that much Vegemite on your knife, but putting a nice big blob of buttercream into the middle of your cupcake and then just bringing the rest of it down to the side.
Yep.
Okay.
Mine's getting a bit messy, so I'm going to step back so people can't see it too closely.
All right, be proud, don't you worry about it. I've just popped a tiny little bit more on top of mine just to even out that mound in the middle.
Okay. Right.
Nikki, can you just click the screen for me? And I'm going to do that to 2 of my cupcakes. Okay, so I'm going to put the mound on 2 of them.
Okay, I think we also have a poll happening on our Facebook event, I think, and it's around whether or not you have eaten all your Easter eggs. So be sure to respond to the poll. Shaz, I know which one you'll be ticking.
That was only one set, Julia. That was just one set. So we've got 2 of our cupcakes that have got the mounds on them. So they should be, yep, that looks great. So now we're just going to put just enough coating on the next one. It's not mounded up, but it doesn't have to be too high. But we're just going to coat those last 2.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just spreading it out so it's just nice and smooth and not going too much onto the paper like I am, but it'll be okay.
Okay. Now, Shaz, have you got any other cooking classes coming up after our wonderful cupcakes?
Yeah, well, I'm in the process of organising a Mother's Day class that I'm going to be doing on my live and just working out what I can teach people that's simple, that the kids can do, that to make something special for mum, because I suspect not many mums will be taking out for lunch this year as they normally are. So yes, if we can organise something the day before Mother's Day to actually have a beautiful treat for mum on Mother's Day, I think that's something very important.
Can you reveal what you're thinking, or?
Well, I haven't actually decided. That's my task for tomorrow. I've got to work out exactly what I'm going to do. It's either cupcakes or a small cake. We're tossing around the idea of a love heart cake, you know, something I love you, Mum, something along those lines. And I was just working out a good way of making some icing flowers. We could be even using things like marshmallows, something that's pretty quick and easy to buy from the supermarket, just so kids can show Mum how much they love them, and not too much, because, you know, a big cake, even though we're all at home and, you know, we've got morning tea for the rest of the week, but something manageable for the kids to do. So, yeah. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab just a normal cupcake and a mounded cupcake. And with the mounded cupcake, we're just going to get our bowl of coconut, and we're going to just dip our cupcake into our coconut and just roll it around. So this is where I start drooling, because now this stuff. Oh, the smell of it is amazing. So you've got this gorgeous looking cupcake and you've got the coconut on it, and what we're going to do is we're going to get a set of ears, okay, and on the mounded cupcake we're going to get our 2 ears, and we're just going to place them into that icing and let them sit. And then if you want to get really, really super cute, you can just tip one ear over.
Oh, my ear fell off.
So just make sure they're not too big, and make sure you've got enough frosting, enough buttercream on there. And what you can do, once the coconut's on, you can actually just push the buttercream and the coconut just to set those ears in place.
Okay. Could be that the ears are a bit big.
If the ears are too big, then all you've got to do is cut the bottom of the ears off. Just a little, slice a bit of the bottom off. So just get one of the ears and just cut that bottom bit off if they're too big. And that way it'll make it a lot easier to sit in.
All right.
And if they are falling, you can get a bit of spaghetti or a toothpick. I probably wouldn't put two toothpicks into cupcakes, because if you forget about them and take a great big bite, you're going to be in a bit of trouble. But, you know, if you need to skewer them in, you can do that with a bit of spaghetti. But it should sit all right just with the buttercream.
Okay.
All right.
How's mine looking?
Yay, that looks fantastic. So the next trick is just to get a pea-sized piece of pink fondant, pop it where the nose will go, and then 2 little bits of black or grey, or I've got brown, so I've got a brown like bunny, tiny, tiny little balls, and pop them up above and either side of the nose.
Got it.
And you just push them into the buttercream. The buttercream's still soft, so you can just rearrange the face a little bit if you like. Can you hold that up, please, Michaela?
Okay. Oh, look. Got a friend.
Oh, how adorable. Look at you. I am so happy. That is so good.
Question is, does it taste nice?
I'm sure it will. We're going with yes. We're going with a definite yes. So that's fantastic. So now you're going to get a cupcake that's just the low cupcake, the one that's not so mounded. We're going to do exactly the same thing with our coconut. We're just going to roll that cupcake in the coconut.
Yep.
And just tap it so the rest of the coconut falls off. And that looks delicious too. And then we're going to get one of our little cotton tails that we made before, and we're going to stick that right in the top. Now you might need to smidge a little bit of the coconut out of the way so it sticks. Just push it in and just press down and adjust the rest of the buttercream and coconut around that.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you're going to get 2 of your feet, and we're just going to finish these off quickly with our little paw pads. So grab another bit of pink fondant.
Yep.
and we're going to make a big, I'll get Mickey to hold that up so you can see. We're going to make 4 little circles. So the biggest circle is where at the base of the actual pour. And we're going to make a circle. We're going to put that on, and we're just going to press it onto the actual pour. And then we're going to make 3 smaller ones. And your tiniest one will be on the little toe, of course. You just make the tiny little, you make the circles of fondant to match the size of the toe.
Yeah.
And then
it's very fiddly.
It can be, yes. We made a tiny little bunny on our Chatting Cakes with Blackbird group yesterday, and that had whiskers on it, and that was fiddly. Trust me, that was fiddly. So what we're going to do with these pours is we're going to get the top ends where the larger pad is, and we're just going to place them on the edge of the cupcake, just sitting at the edge there. So it looks like the bunny is face down in the carrot patch. Now, if your pours aren't sticking, you can pop a tiny bit of buttercream onto the back of the pour, and that'll help it stay in place.
Okay. Right. Okay. Getting there.
Oh, take your time. All righty.
All right.
Nearly
there. All right, here we go. Wait, it's going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fantastic. They are awesome. Are you proud of yourself? You should be. They're fantastic.
Yeah. The feet looks a bit funny, but we'll go with it.
No, they're awesome. They're really good. All right, so the second last one we're going to do is the flat one again. We're just going to get the flatter cupcake one with the 2 left over. And if you've got your green coconut, this one's simple. It's just basically green dyed coconut. You're going to just cover that cupcake and then get your little Easter egg or bunny or little chocolate where they got, and just stick that in. That's a quick and easy one, really effective and not a hard one to make. So, and you don't have to do too much work.
The green coconut, so we'll just go with the white.
You've done, yeah, well, yeah, and there's another way. Remember I told you about the dirt before,
yes.
Which is the cocoa powder and the brown sugar. You can do that on your last one as well, and that looks like dirt. Just do your cupcake in that. Give it a good shake. It does tend to go everywhere. And pop your carrot in that one as well. So you could do your carrot in grass, no worries. If you haven't got green, that's no big deal. So, and then I just pop that in like you just did before. And I'm just going to press that around. And guess what?
We're done.
You've done it. You've done it. How awesome.
I haven't burnt down the kitchen. Made some cupcakes. We're all good.
It's fantastic. Good on you. So I don't believe you now. I don't believe you're not good in the kitchen. I think you're fabulous. So
it's because I've got an amazing, teacher like yourself, Shaz. Thanks for all your patience.
Oh my gosh, darling, this has been fantastic. I've had such a fantastic time. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thanks for jumping on board and getting on, the bandwagon of Couch Community so quickly and being so helpful. This has been brilliant. So before we say goodbye, we should say one more time, what should people do? People should follow you on Instagram, Blackbird Cakes, as well as Facebook. They should definitely check out Chatting about cakes with Blackbird group.
Chatting Cakes with Blackbird, yep. Chatting Cakes with Blackbird, yep. That's
it. They should jump on our page and make sure they sign up for Couch Community so they know the next episode. And let me just check. Is there any other questions, Victor, from anyone? We're all good? I think we're all good. Thanks, Shaz.
Oh, fantastic, darling. Thank you. And enjoy eating these delicious cupcakes. I'm sure Victor's going to be very happy to sample them for you.
He has no choice, though.
Well done. Well done.
Thanks,
darling.
Bye.
Happy to see you.